to the next video. So in this video I will show you how to do text to speech and speech to text for Android in Godot game engine. So as you can see on the right hand side, this is the Godot game running on my Android device. So it is not really a game, but I just want to show you the functionality for it, and I'm not really good at Godot, that's why I've kept the UI as simple as possible. But I'm not sure if you guys would be able to hear the text or not. So first, on the first button click, so convert text to speech, I am passing some content from Godot side, and then calling my Android plugin, like the method which is present inside Android plugin, and doing it and converting it to speech. So I will just press on it. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it. So it definitely worked. I mean, you can try it on your side as well. And on the second button I will convert speech to text. So once I click on it, I will say something, and if you see, there is one label with some text inside it. So it should change to whatever I have said. So I will just say hello Godot developers. Okay, hello Godot developers. So I think it has missed Godot, but it didn't, like, maybe because of my accent it hasn't picked up, but at least it has printed hello developers. So, and it is in form of string, but yeah, I'm just converting that array into a string, but if you want you can clean it up much more nicely. So yeah, let's get started. And I won't explain each and I won't show you how to do each and every step. I will explain you each and every step, but I won't show it to you in detail, because I have already done that on my YouTube channel. So if you are curious, you can watch this video on how to do step-by-step guide on how to create Android plugin / module. So let's get started. So here are the steps. So first, create an Android project. So I have already created one project. You just have to right click, file, new module. So once you have created your project, you can just click on write new module. Just select Android library and give some name to your module. I have given it at my awesome library. I have already created this, so which you can see over here. Now I will go inside Android. Okay, and here you can see my awesome library. I will minimize this for now. Next, you have to add this implementation to your build.gradle. I have already added that, which you can see over here. I don't think you require this, this was just part of my debugging. So I will just click on sync now again. Is there any error? I don't think so. Okay, no errors. So yeah, that dependency was unnecessary. Next, we have to create this Godot Android plugin, and here we have to write all our logic for it. So I will just explain you the logic. So I have created this class. This should be inside your my awesome library or whatever your library name is. And I'm first you have to extend text speech dot on it init listener, and here for text to speech you have to create this object as well. And here make sure you give your plugin name, and please remember this plugin name because we will be using this plugin name in a few more places. And because we are using signals, I have registered one signal as well. The signal name is SST signal, and this will be useful when we are converting speech to text, because whatever you have spoken from on the native Android side should be sent to the Godot side. That's why we are using signal over here. And we require the request as well. So I will explain you this. So first is speech to text. Okay, so what I am doing, so this is like boilerplate code which I have just copied from docs. First you have to define an intent for action recognize speech, then you have to add this intent.put extra for extra language model and language model free form. Then again you have to put this recognizer.extra language and local.get default, so whatever is your default language on your device. And again I have added intent.put extra recognizer.extra prompt, and value is speak to text. Okay, so next we will start this activity. So there is something called activity result, and once this activity result, if there is any issue, I'm just displaying a toast message, but here if you want you can send a signal to Godot side as well, just how I'm sending over here. So once you call start activity for result, this callback gets called, and once it matches this my request code, because we have used it over here as well, so once it matches this, we get data in form of array list. So here you might have seen running devices. Here you can see the hello developers is in form of array list. So I'm converting that array list into a string and sending it back to the Godot side. But if you want to get only the first item from an array, you can do that as well. Okay, so this is for speech to text. Next, so here I have marked it as @ used by Godot, so you can use this method in Godot side. Next, second is text to speech. So this text we will get it from the Godot side, and here you can see it is simple, pretty. You just have to write, so the object which we had created at the top, dot speak followed by the text, and the text to speech dot qflush, and params and utterance ID you can pass as null, and then inside on init, so this should get initialized. So I'm just checking whether this text to speech was initialized properly or not. So here if it is initialized properly, so I'm getting a result, and from that I'm just checking whether the language is missing data or language not supported, then just display a toast. If you want, you can send it as a signal as well, and if everything is properly supported, then also I'm making a toast, but this is not required. This was just part of my debugging. And once this is destroyed, we are destroying this text to speech dot stop as well as shutdown as well. Okay, so that's it for Android plugin. Next, inside Android manifest of your library, you have to add this. So I have already done that, which you can see over here. Next, you have to go to project directory, go to library, create a folder. Okay, so go to project directory, go to your library, and you have to create this export scripts template folder. Inside that, first create a file called export_plugin.gd. I have already created this, and we just have to copy paste this file, like this is necessary for Godot. And the important thing is you have to change this plugin name to whatever plugin name you have defined, okay, inside your Kotlin file. Everything else remains the same. Next, you have to create this plugin.cfg file. Again, you have to copy paste everything and change this to your plugin name. You can change the description and author to whatever you want. Okay, so we are done with this. We are done with this. Okay, done with this. Okay, if you want, you can check the min HDK and max HDK as well. So if you want to see, so just go back to the Android view again. You can go over here. So the min HDK is 24, and mostly the compile HDK is your target HDK, so this is 34. So you have to set the same thing on your Godot side as well, just to be on the safer side. Then you will have to go to your terminal, cd to your project and not to your library. So wherever you have created this project, and don't switch to your library, go to the main root of project, and then you will have to run .gradle w assemble. I have already run that. Okay, next, create a Godot project. I have already created this Godot project. Okay, and what it tells is create folder, add-ons, create folder with your plugin name, my plugin. Okay, so firstly create a folder called add-ons, and inside that I'll create another folder called whatever is your plugin name. So my plugin name was my awesome plugin. Okay, and then create a folder called bin, and inside that create debug and release folder. So I have already created that. Create a folder called bin, inside that create debug and release folder. Then you have to copy export plugin.gd and plugin.cfg outside. Okay, which I have already done. So you have to copy these two files which we have created on the Android library side, and copy it inside your my awesome plugin or whatever your plugin name is. Then go to build output AR folder of your library. I have copy pasted this file already in my Godot project, that's why it won't be there. So what you will have to do is you go to your Android project. This is my library, right? Go to build outputs AAR, and here you might see two files like debug.aar and release.aar. I have already copied those, so you will have to copy those two files. Those two files are generated when you run that gradle w assemble command. And if you see here add-ons, my awesome plugin bin, here you can see here you have, make sure you change that name to whatever your plugin name is, dash debug.ar, and for release you have to change it to my awesome plugin dash release.ar. so I have already done this. Then go to project settings, plugins, click the check mark. Okay, go to project settings, and here you have to go to plugins and you will have to enable this check mark. Then create UI for, okay, so here you can see I have created a VBox container with 2 buttons and a labels, and here you can see I have created an variable for my label, and then this should be your plugin name, and here we are instantiating our plugin in onReady function, and once the button is pressed, here you can see for the first button I am calling text to speech, so this should be the same method which you have defined it on the Android side, and similarly for your I am calling the speech to text method, and I am passing over here some variable, and here you can see I have connected my signal as well, and once we get some speech to text data, I am just displaying it inside our label. So next is you will have to go to project, install Android build template. So I have already done that. Go to project, you first have to install Android build template, then go to export, make sure you add your Android, just click on add at the top and just add Android, then you will have to check use Gradle build, and here inside your architecture you will have to check whichever architecture you are running on your mobile device. If you don't know what architecture your mobile is running, I would suggest check all these 4. Okay, next what it says is go to editor settings, add debug key. So mostly if you are on Mac, the debug key would be over here. This is the path for debug key, so you will have to just configure your debug key inside editor settings, and also check the use Wi-Fi for remote debugging. Okay, and once that is done, you can just enable developer options on your Android device, and from here itself you can, from your Godot editor itself, you can run your app on a real Android device. So yeah, I think that should be it. Thank you for watching. Bye.